Okay, moving on. Number 4. Found these at a yard sale where literally I walked around the yard sale. They advertised a bunch of PS2 and Xbox games. They did have, but they were $5 a piece and they were mostly junk. But I saw some GameCube controllers. I grabbed an official one. That's not right here. I should have brought that too, but I didn't. First party GameCube controller for $2. I asked them if they had any GameCube games. They said no. We sold them already a couple yard sales ago, but we got some NES games over here. I walk over and I pull this here out of the bin, Mario 2 in the Nintendo case, which I didn't have yet. Actually, it's the last Mario game for NES I didn't have. The guy next to me saw me pull it out and literally shoved me out of the way. I'm a big guy. Literally, forearm shivered me, both arms, out of the fucking way. I almost lost it. We almost got into a fight at the yard sale. Didn't happen. Actually, she told him she wanted $50 for the lot. He wasn't willing to pay that. I wouldn't have been willing to either, to be honest. But after he left, I grabbed the ones I really wanted, including that one there, and I offered $10 for them. And this includes 3 Nintendo games, the Mario 2, 2 others I'm about to show you. It included the GameCube controller, and it included this, Streets of Rage 2 for the Genesis, which she had 50 cents on. So for $10, I got all of that, the GameCube controller, a copy of Super C for the NES. That's about a $15 game. Happy there. And finally, this is the best one of the lot, Final Fantasy. Not only Final Fantasy, though, but it has the original Explorer's Handbook. And although it's in terrible shape, the map that came with the game really torn up. But I'm still trying. That's for sale, actually, because I don't care about manuals and maps and things like that for the old school stuff. I'd rather go someone who's going to appreciate it, so that's for sale. Final 2 here. Next, I picked these 2 up at a pawn shop. This is number 3. First off, and this is a good deal. It's not the amazing deal of the 2. We got a copy of Professor Layton in the Curious Village. As you can see there, it was $4.99. I passed this over like 3 times. The reason being, they had another copy out on the shelf with the case for $15. I didn't really want to pay that. I kept thinking, oh, that probably the copy in the case must go out there, must go with the copy out here on the floor. They just keep the cartridge in the case so that you can't just snatch it. No. They were separate. This one was $5. When I found that out, they were already showing me something else in the bin at the time, the other item I'm about to show you. So I asked to see it just out of curiosity, and that's when I realized it was $5, so I picked it up too. This other item here I found, also $4.99, and this is actually already sold. I sold this online. I've never been a big fan of the series. I'd rather sell this. It's not a bad game at all. I've played it. It's a good game. But I'd rather sell it for what it's worth and use the money towards something that I'll enjoy, that'll really be something that I want in my collection, like a Majora's Mask or a Chrono Trigger or something. And the game is Mega Man X2. You can probably see, maybe, I'm not sure, there is a little bit of like residue on the side, but this is already sold. I've actually got to package this up and ship it out in just a few minutes. That's why I wanted to get this video filmed now, because I got to go pretty soon to ship this. Yeah, I paid $5 for that. It's worth well over that. I sold it for well over that. And the guy I sold it to actually still got a pretty good deal. I made him a little bit of a deal since I got a good price on it too. Everyone wins. Next up, my number 2. These might actually deserve to be number 1, but I haven't decided yet, so I put them number 2 because I just got these today, actually. And these actually, the first thing I'm going to show you, was at a separate place but same day, so I'm including them just because they're a pretty good find. Not amazing on these 2. The others are much better, but these are much better games probably, but those are a better deal. Found a copy of Chrono Cross for $9.99 in the pawn shop. A little more than I would like to pay for it, but I was having a good day. I also had a copy of Diablo for PlayStation 1 for $14.99, which is a really good price on that, but by the time I sell it, it would go for like $25, $30. By the time I sell it, I wouldn't make much once I shipped it and paid eBay fees and everything. If I wanted the game, I would, but if I'm going to play Diablo, I'm going to play it on a computer. I can't imagine playing that on a controller. The other one is probably a better deal. That only goes for like $15 or so. It's not a bad deal. I got a good price, but not great. This one's a really good price. This goes for about $30 usually, and it's a Final Fantasy VII for $12.99. So I was a little disappointed actually, because usually their PlayStation games there are $1.99 each. And when I saw these, I was thinking I'm gonna get these for $2 a piece, and I was gonna grab Diablo too. But then I saw the prices and I had to reconsider. I almost left them, but a little disappointed they priced them higher, but they mentioned they checked eBay, and I will say if they're going to check eBay, I appreciate they didn't put them at eBay price. They didn't stick 30 on Final Fantasy VII. So I do appreciate that. So I didn't mind picking it up. But the rest of this find, actually, I got these all at a garage sale this morning. I saw some gaming magazines, some older gaming magazines, and I asked the guy, hey, do you got any games, actually? He said, yeah, I've got some PlayStation games I was actually going to bring out, and I forgot to bring them out. Goes and grabs this big old stack. And some of them are junk, but he only wanted 50 cents a piece for them. And some of them are so good. I mean, like probably 5 or 6 games you have to go for 15 bucks. I mean, so 50 cents a piece, I just grabbed them all. $6, what the heck? I almost thought about trying to get them to go to 5, but at this price, I really just didn't even feel right about it. We'll start off. This is the worst game. This is one of the worst games I've ever played, actually. But I had it once upon a time, way back in the day. I hate this game. I almost left it behind 50 cents, but I didn't have change, and neither did he. I figured I'm going to just give him 60 either way, I might as well take it. But it's a Casper for the PlayStation 1. Truly a god-awful game. Please never play this. The next two we got here are Medal of Honor. Nothing great there, 50 cents though, what the heck. And Medal of Honor Underground, if you can see it, it's upside down. There we go. Which has the manual, but the front cover is torn off. But again, 50 cents. What the heck? Moving on, we've got a copy of Spyro, Year of the Dragon, which has the holographic front piece, which is cool, but is actually missing the manual. But 50 cents. I've already got 2 copies of that. I really need to sell that and my other copy. Moving on, what else do we got here? Here we go. We've got Resident Evil Director's Cut. It's got the case, it's missing the manual. 50 cents. Then we've got Crash Bandicoot Black Label. That goes for about 15 bucks nowadays. So that might be for sale or it might go into my collection. I haven't decided yet. Crash Bandicoot Warped. I've already got it. It's complete and in really great shape. It's actually for sale for sure. Okay, we've got a copy of Doom for the PlayStation. It's supposed to be a terrific version of Doom. Again, 50 cents. And yeah, it's missing the manual, but this stuff goes for about 15 bucks. I'm still getting great deals here. And I haven't even gotten to the best deals yet. This guy was a big fan, obviously, of the King's Field series. Because I picked up 3 King's Field games. The original King's Field. Disc only, it's in a generic case. Same with King's Field 2, generic case, and custom cover art, but as you can see, the disc is there. It works great. It's in great shape. And yeah, I don't know what happened to the cases. I wish he had the cases, but it's all good. Got a good price. And finally, I didn't realize this was even a PS2 game until I got it home. I didn't realize. I was in the stack, I just grabbed them all. But this is a PS2 game. It's King's Field, The Ancient City. So I got 3 King's Field games. I've never played the series, but I've heard good things. I'll have to try it out. And finally, this is missing the manual, but it's got all 4 discs. It's in great shape. And that is The Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, fantastic shape. This final item, they were asking $5 for it. I got them down to 3. And I don't have the item anymore. I sold it. I traded it actually online. And it was a sealed copy, of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door for the GameCube. I was able to trade it for a guy for this here actually. Something I needed, a system I still needed actually. I got my Nintendo 64 in the Atomic Purple. Came with the expansion pack, as you can see in there. Came with a controller, 2 kind of crappy games, but I knew the game was going on. I wanted the system mainly. And where that other copy of Luigi's Mansion comes back into play, actually, is that I then got another copy of Luigi's Mansion and traded it for another copy of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. But a copy that's not sealed. So, I mean, that way I don't feel like I wouldn't open a sealed game. I'm not a sealed collector. I don't even really like sealed collecting. It kind of bugs me. I'm one of those guys who feels games are meant to be played. I know that annoys some people. That's fine. You can collect whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's not for me. I don't really understand it or get it. To me, I like games because I can play them. And yeah, I like them to look at them on my shelves. But I like to look at them on my shelves because I feel like I can pop them in off my shelf at any time. But, hey, like I said, to each their own. I helped someone else out get what they wanted. They helped me get what I wanted. Everyone's happy. And then another trade got me a copy of the game because I really did want the game. That's it. That's my top 10. That was number 1. That Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Traded it for the N64. If you got any, if you got any comments, if you want to, whatever, send me a message, comment, subscribe, whatever. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it.